Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, we have the fourth developers live timeline. So you guys remember the Trauma Ray live stream we had like a couple weeks ago, and when I pretty much live stream, but it was in Korean and it was really hard for me to understand what was going on in that live stream. So they pretty much translated the Q&A session, and they're pretty much giving us more information so that we can actually understand what's going to take place in this game in the far future. So they pretty much have like these timestamps and the content, and we have the Q&A summary. So this is crazy. Like, there's a lot to unpack here, but the first Q&A right here is please buff VIOLE. So before I even read this, I feel like we can all come together and agree that VIOLE, his kit has been constantly changing the most in this game. Like, the amount of times that the devs revamped VIOLE's kit is just ridiculous. Like, at first, when VIOLE first got dropped into the game, he was pretty trash. He was pretty trash when he first got dropped into the game, and then the devs, they pretty much changed his kit. They pretty much allowed him to reset his cooldown when he does his ultimate, and that's what made him really busted. But unfortunately, VIOLE is still not that strong in higher deficits. So it seems like the devs, they are trying to revamp his revolution skill so that he can be a lot more stronger. So let's go ahead and read this. It says, we are in the process of revamping VIOLE's revolution skill so it can be utilized in various content. Additionally, if there are other teammates whose skills you'd like to see reworked, please share your thoughts through the official community's suggestion board. We will consider reworking the skills of up to 3 more teammates. We look forward to hearing your feedback. FYI, we are also working on balance adjustments for the already released UREK MAZINO. So Flight UREK MAZINO is also receiving a buff. So that's pretty much 2 units so far. We have VIOLE and we have Flight UREK MAZINO. Now, they didn't say which one. They didn't say data or flight. I'm assuming flight. So if it's Flight UREK MAZINO that they're buffing, this is actually pretty good, because Flight UREK MAZINO, I'm pretty sure he is a very powerful character in the webtoon. So this can actually change. This can make a huge change to the game. Like, this can actually change the meta. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to the VIOLE buff, because if I'm being honest, Evankel was carrying Red Element and VIOLE was just falling off. So therefore, not a lot of people rely on VIOLE at higher deficits. If you're at like lower floors, lower stages, then VIOLE is strong. But if you're at like higher stages, let's say floor 70, floor 80, VIOLE is just not that strong compared to Evankel. So this is actually really, really good for VIOLE, but I just hope that this is the last time they buff VIOLE, because the amount of times that they buff this unit over and over again, it's like, guys, like, it's either you guys just leave the unit alone or just release, I'm pretty sure there's like another version of Bomb that a lot of people are looking forward to. Like, release another version of him at this point, because it just seems like VIOLE, no matter how many times they buff him, he's always gonna underperform. I don't know. But looking forward to the VIOLE buff and the Flight UREK MAZINO buff. And the fact that they said 3 more teammates, I'm pretty sure it's up to the community to decide which teammates you guys want the devs to buff. So make sure that you guys, come together and make a good decision. Don't tell them to buff, a unit that not a lot of people are going to use and a unit that's already dead. For example, Quant. Like, no, you don't want to buff that. Hats, that would be interesting, but I would want them to buff like a DPS character that was very, very powerful. For example, Joaquin, but he fell off due to his revolution base notes. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But I like how the devs, they are continuously buffing characters, making sure that the characters that we still have, they're still viable and still useful, because it sucks that you use all your resources on the character and they're no longer meta, they're just trash. So this is good news to all the Flight UREK MAZINO fans and to all the VIOLE fans. They are both going to receive a buff in the future. Now, the next question, it says, please optimize the game. Yes, optimize the game. It says the crashes are caused due to insufficient device memory. We have adjusted the graphic settings to the minimum requirements for devices at risk to help improve performance. We're prioritizing optimization and will work on improvements as quickly as possible. I'm sorry, but this is just not a good answer. Like, you guys pretty much said the same thing over and over again. You guys said Well, if the game is crashing for you, just lower your settings, and that's it. That's just not a good answer. Even when I'm playing this game on my PC, the game still crashes. So you guys have to fix this. Hopefully we get a huge optimization update so that the game can crash less, because I do feel like one of the main reasons why some people stop playing this game is because it just crashes too much and it's just unplayable on the phone. So hopefully by the end of this year, they have a huge optimization update. Now, next one we have here, it says, please improve Yiring Yeon's Revolution skill. Now, this is honestly interesting because Yiring is actually very, very strong. And I wasn't expecting for some people to complain about Yiring's a revolution, but let's go ahead and read the answer. It says, since Yiring is not a family head and represents an earlier era, we think her performance is already decent. So other characters might be prioritized for revolution skill updates. Additionally, we have been informed of a bug where she was using skills post-death. This was resolved with the September 25th maintenance. So I agree with this answer because they did say that Yiring, she is not actually family head. It's just a memory of her. So that's the reason why, she is not as insanely broken as Chow Murray. So it's pretty obvious that they're going to release a different version of Yiring in the future, and she's going to have family head rarity. So I don't think they should improve her revolution skill because we're gonna have a different version of her in the future. We just have to wait. So this really good answer. Next thing we have here says improvement to ignition weapon presets. So it says we will update the ignition weapon preset so that you can swap out just one part when you have been assigned all 5 parts. And the next part is 70,000 mission points seems a bit too high. So if you guys don't know what this means, so whenever there's like an event in a game, we have these event missions, and in the event missions, you have to like complete you pretty much have to complete 70,000 mission points in order for you to get SSR plus crystals, in order for you to get an SSR plus crystal to pretty much limit break an SSR plus unit. And that's really hard for free-to-play players to achieve because you have to spend a lot of suspendium in order for you to get that 70,000 mission point. So this is actually a valid complaint. I don't like this. Hopefully they change this, but it says achieving 70,000 points rewards you with SSR plus blessing breakstones. This item holds significant value as it can be used to limit break all future SSR plus teammates. We believe that requiring 70,000 points for it is reasonable. Additionally, we have made improvements to ensure that other rewards can be attained with lower point requirements. For now, we'd appreciate your patience regarding the 70,000 points. So what they pretty much said was, we're not changing this shit. That's what they said. They said, we're not going to change this. Deal with it, cry more, who cares? So, unfortunately, they have no plans to change the 70,000 mission point uh event. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point, but at least make it possible where, free to play players have the opportunity to get the SSR plus blessing breakstone without spending so much suspendium. Like, I'm pretty sure you have to spend like, I think 30,000 or 50,000 suspendium. I completely forgot. Somebody can remind me in the comment section down below, but the amount of suspendium you need to spend in order for you to get a bunch of stamina and pretty much get all the mission points, it's a lot. So I just wish that they lowered it, just a little bit so that it can actually be possible for free-to-play players to get the SSR Plus Blessing Breakstone without spending, such an insane amount of suspendium. Plus, it's just one SSR Plus Blessing Breakstone. They're acting like it's 10. It's just one. So they should lower it, man. They should lower the points. It shouldn't be that high. Now, next thing we have is, when will Hakani be released? So Hakani is an upcoming character, and it seems like a lot of people are waiting for this unit. It says, we are currently planning for his release. He is an incredibly charming and handsome character, and we're putting a lot of effort into preparing him. So please stay tuned. So my guess is Hakani is releasing. He's coming in like early 2025. The fact that they're already talking about him in 2024, he's definitely going to be a 2025 unit. So he's probably going to come January or February, who knows, but Hakani is coming soon. Now, next thing we have, it says, please give us a revolution reset ticket. Yes, this right here, I want this because we should have the opportunity to pretty much refund our revolution mats so that we can invest in another character who's powerful. For example, let's say somebody invested in Lilio's revolution, right? They should have the opportunity to reset that and put that revolution resource on another character. So this is a valid complaint right here. And let's see the answer. It says introducing reset tickets for revolution skills raises some concerns about ease of replacement or reset, similar to ignition weapons. For now, we're planning to offer them as rewards through special events, allowing for limited resets. So they're releasing reset tickets in the game, but it's going to be through special events. So it's not going to be common, it's going to be very rare, which is understandable because they don't want us to constantly reset revolution skills over and over again. It's going to take the value away from revolution system, but we should still have that opportunity to reset a revolution investment from characters who are no longer meta. So this is actually pretty dope. The fact that they're still going to do it is really nice. The next thing we have, it says, please improve the conquest. It says, we think the main drawback of conquest content is that it can feel a bit too cumbersome. We have invested a lot of resource into this content, but it is unfortunate that it has not been effectively utilized. I'm not gonna lie, conquest is boring. Like, I never manually play through it. I just do auto and that's it. It's hella boring. There's just no reason to manually play through it. Since players are accustomed to auto clearing and collecting rewards, any abrupt changes could feel like we are removing something they have come to rely on. To avoid this, we will opt for a more gradual, streamlined adjustment rather than a complete overhaul. Additionally, we'll quickly address the issue where players cannot collect all rewards on certain conquest maps. The next question we have, it says, it feels like blue element teammates are underpowered. It says we always prioritize how we distribute element proportions when releasing new teammates. While they might appear weaker than others at the moment, we have several blue element teammates coming in the future. We are working on balance adjustments, so we appreciate your patience. Now, me personally, I don't agree with this complaint where they said that blue element teammates are underpowered. And the reason why is because blue element is like the strongest element for bosses. You have Kaiser, who's pretty much the best boss unit in the game. You have Blanc, who's absolutely insane with Kaiser. Great boss unit because she buffs attack by a lot. You have Garam, shreds physical and magic resistance, applies physical and magic resistance, gives 100% attack increase with her revolution, and special move Pierce. She's insanely busted. You have Novik, who increases Kaiser's basic attack damage, which is really good. And you also have Lero, who shreds the enemy defense, and he also increases blue element allies attack by a lot. So I do feel like when it comes to blue element, of course, in adventure mode, it might not be that strong, but for bosses, blue element is like the best element for bosses because all the units, they're just really good against bosses. Larode, he can set the enemy's physical and magic resistance to 0. Novik, Kaiser, Garam, Datamashni. Datamashni is an absolute cheat code with max copies. And even if you don't have her maxed out, you can play her as a stall tank unit with low copies. So I do feel like for blue element, I don't feel like it's underpowered, but of course, they're going to introduce more blue element characters. So we shouldn't really jump into conclusions with blue element because let's be honest, guys, blue element is the strongest element when it comes to bosses. But for adventure mode, I will say for adventure mode, it's green element. Green element is insanely broken. Trauma Ray, SR plus Yiwa, Tidden Dorsey. You have who else? We have Lero, Child Lero. We got so many crazy units. Punisher in. Green element is insanely broken. So that's pretty much that complaint right there. The next thing we have is, can you share details about the November collaboration? It says, we hinted that it's a popular webtoon IP, but we can confirm it will not be with... Oh. No, bro. It's not solo leveling, man. It's not solo leveling. So this is actually bad news. It's not solo leveling. We don't know what it is, but unfortunately, the collaboration is not going to be solo leveling. I thought it was going to be solo leveling, but seems like that's not the case. We plan to hold another developers live broadcast before the November collaboration begins. In this broadcast, we'll introduce the collaboration characters and take any suggestions you might have for future collaborations. This is dope. The fact that they're doing more live streams, really nice. Pretty much enhances it pretty much enhances communication between the player base and the devs. So this is dope, but bro, solo leveling, man, that was such a missed opportunity, bro. If they did it with solo leveling, dude, so many people would come back to this game. But hey, we still don't know what the collab units are going to be. We don't know which game we're going to collab with, so we're gonna have to wait for more details. Now, next thing we have, it says, can you reduce the waiting time for the agency service center and expand the level cap? It says, we acknowledge the feedback about the lengthy wait times at the agency service center, and we completely understand the concern. We'll be implementing improvements to address this. The next thing we have here says, please adjust the difficulty of the Revolution Room. The difficulty of the Revolution Room has been lowered, making it easier to obtain blue orb shards as loot. Compared to Season 1, we have seen over 10 times the progression rate, specifically when it comes to the 200 floor. The number of players reaching it by the 10th day has increased fivefold, indicating that the difficulty has indeed been adjusted. However, we have received feedback that placing new teammates during the early stages makes the game too challenging, so we will avoid that in future adjustments. I agree. Uh, Putting in, like, I remember they put in Quintessentio, they put in new characters, which really wasn't fair because not a lot of people were able to max out these new units. So I agree with that. We'll also try to address the issue of the deck set for Nemesis battles resetting constantly. Many players have enjoyed the quick auto progress mode we introduced. We will continue to make adjustments to facilitate smoother gameplay. So honestly, for Revolution Room Season 2, they did a great job. It is definitely it's way better than Season 1 because Season 1 was really difficult and we had no auto progress. So I think we did have auto progress, but it just wasn't quick. I forgot. But Season 2 is 10 times better than Season 1, but they are going to make it a lot better in the future. Can we get the Anak story costume release? It says it's on the way and available soon. So we are going to get Anak skin soon. It says, can you please bring back the replay feature for other stories? Due to the nature of other stories involving field exploration and their brief content, this feature was omitted during UX enhancements. If there's a desire for a replay feature, we may think about adding a dedicated tab for it. I'm curious about White's grade. He is set to be released as an SSR Plus grade, so White is going to be an SSR Plus character. The sensitivity seems very depending on the different devices. We'll review the individual characteristics to apply an appropriate sensitivity level. The first phase of improvements for this matter was implemented in the September 25th update. Now, why is Albelda's grade SSR Plus? In the storyline, Albelda is featured as a powerful figure who both impresses and intimidates strong characters like Ha Yuri. Taking into account her strength in the original work and an available position, we decide to classify her as SSR Plus. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, this is kind of hypocritical because we have Ha Yuri, right? Ha Yuri, who's SSR and she's complete trash, and I'm pretty sure she is a strong character in the webtoon. And we have Child Yuri, who's SSR plus. And I might be wrong here, but I don't think Child Yuri is even canon to begin with. So I don't think this is a valid answer because you have Yuri, who's very powerful, SSR plus. I mean, she's not even SSR plus, she's SSR and she's trash. And you have Flight UREK MAZINO, who's also an insane character, and he's not even that strong in the game. I mean, he is going to receive a buff, but it's just not consistent. Like when it comes to the power level from the webtoon and how they're trying to rank, a character's power level in the webtoon by ranking them as SSR plus, SSR, family head or whatever. Family head makes sense, but for SSR plus and SSR, it's just inconsistent. That's all I gotta say. Is there a future plan for adding tiers 7 and 8 to the Revolution system? These tiers serve as a means to enhance 10 Great Families character performance. Currently, there are no plans to expand this to SSR Plus or SSR grades, which is really good. If this was implemented to SSR and SSR Plus characters, that would have been a nightmare. What is the EX grade that was leaked? During the development, we felt it was necessary to introduce a term to classify trauma rays separately from the standard R, SR, and SSR and SSR plus grades. Therefore, the commonly used term extraordinary was abbreviated to EX for the special grade and applied within the game's resources. However, after receiving significant feedback from players regarding the grade, we provided further details in the developer's notes. So they pretty much changed Trauma Ray's rank from extraordinary. They just changed the name. Like they changed the name from EX to uh family head. Like they put the family head symbol. That's pretty much it. Why can't I find collaboration characters in the archive? Collaboration characters were excluded because there are no additional sources for players who missed the collaboration period to obtain them. There are also no plans to add these characters to the archive. We appreciate your understanding on this matter. So they pretty much said, fuck off. We're not going to implement these characters in archive. Next thing we have here is, could you implement a jump feature for the tutorial? I'm not gonna read through that because they already talked about that. Can you expand the ways to obtain tickets? So it says, we have previously implemented the SSR Plus nonstop summon. Since then, we have outlined our approach for the SSR grade, including event type rate up summons and a distribution of numerous exclusive summon tickets. These changes should be implemented by the end of October. So we are going to have the brand new SSR, summon feature implemented by the end of October, which is really good. And it says, and we hope you'll find that the summoning opportunities increase significantly afterwards. This is great news. This is great news because, I said this multiple times. It is easier for you to obtain an SSR plus character of your choice versus an SSR character of your choice because you're not guaranteed to get the SSR character that you want unless you reach a 100 pity on a normal summon banner. So this is great news. Hopefully they give each character, each SSR unit, like new SSR character, their own banner, and hopefully they allow us to use normal summon tickets in these banners. Now, next thing we have here, it says, when will the melting event take place? While we don't have a specific date set yet, we plan to hold the event when we notice a significant accumulation of surplus resources. We have addressed the inconveniences mentioned after the first melting event and will showcase those improvements in the near future. I'm pretty sure there was a big problem where, like, if you click add all, it would literally add every single resource you had and they would just delete it. So I think that's what they're talking about, and they're going to fix that. It says, I'm having serious overheating issues. This is pretty much tied with optimization. This is related to the optimization concerns we discussed earlier. If you're encountering significant overheating, we suggest reducing your graphics settings by one level as a temporary fix. We recognize this as an important area for improvement and will also focus on resolving the force shutdown occurrences. Does the cooldown reduction for skills apply to passives as well? Please be advised that it only applies to active skills. So for the people who are confused about cooldown reduction only applies to active skills. It does not apply to passives and a special move. It just applies to the active skill of the character. Are you planning to release Yama and Yasracha? Says the survey results showed that players prioritize the enjoyment of summoning and collecting characters from the original series, so we are diligently preparing for this. So they're definitely coming 2025. Like this right here just proves that they're not coming this year. There's literally no details on Yama and Yasracha, so they're coming next year. Please enable red dot notifications for Shinsu purification mini games and daily quests. I'm not gonna go through that. When will Eurasia and Sachi figure be released? I must have butchered their name, I apologize, but it says we're preparing to release all the well-known characters from the original webtoon, including them. They pretty much just said, yes, we're going to release these characters, but no release date. Is the special move Pierce apply to Viole's special move? A special move Pierce does not apply to the transformation, my apologies, or buff type abilities, only to damage dealing special moves. So if a unit buffs their own, like if they have like a buff type ability in their special move, the special move Pierce does not apply to them. It only applies to units. For example, let's say Punisher in, right? Punisher in, you have Kaiser. Whenever they use their special move, the damage that they deal with their special move, that's what the special move Pierce buffs. It buffs the damage, not the transformation or the buff type ability that the unit has. It says, when will you stop deploying 4 UREK and 5 UREK decks? We have removed them based on past feedback regarding the trial content. We're placing 3 UREK MAZINO characters in a single deck made it overly difficult. I mean, I don't understand why you guys did that to begin with. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Putting 3 or 4 UREK Mazinos in one team is completely ridiculous. Like you guys just want us to suffer. With the recent addition to of 5 multi decks, there were inadvertent instances where UREK Mazino was placed in 4 decks. However, we will work on minimizing this moving forward. Please release Horned Horn Bomb. Horn Bomb. He was featured in an early promo video, and we are currently preparing for his release. So, for all the people who are wondering when they're going to release Horn Bomb, they're pretty much working on that. Why do special summon rewards vary? Rewards are subject to ongoing change. We adjust the rewards seasonally and tailor them to fit current events. Uh, Please enhance the ranking system for competitive content. Not gonna go through that. If you're interested in PvP, you can read that. I'm gonna put the link to the entire Q&A in the description down below. Are there plans to make the weapon buffs immune to buff removal effects? We want to maintain impartially with teammates who have buff removal abilities, as this adds a strategic element in PvP encounters. Therefore, we have no plans to implement any changes regarding this request for now. Please consider adding a long-haired version of Chalmare costume. So I saw a lot of people, some people, in my comment section on one of my Chalmare videos, and some people were saying that Chalmare, he has like long hair and like the webtoon, and they didn't implement that in the game, and some people were disappointed. So this is their answer. They said, we will take this into consideration as we take some time to review the character's structure. So they're thinking about it, and they might implement long-haired Chalmare as a costume in the future. Who knows? I prefer the name Torn Authority over Soul Reaper for white. We are glad to hear that, because the in-game character's name will indeed be as Torn Authority, so that's going to be his name. And it says, please make the Master Support event a permanent event. We are considering running the Master and Pupil event again. Although the last event had its positive elements, there were also areas in need of improvement. We will look into developing a system that automatically pairs players, similar to how you are able to add friends in game, or work on improving its overall convenience. Can you improve the basic attack pierce for VIOLE at Revolution Tier 6? Bro, holy crap. It's like this whole Q&A is about VIOLE. Like, so many people just want VIOLE. Like, they just want it to be very strong. And maybe a lot of people just like this character so much that they don't like the fact that he's just not that strong. So it's understandable. And they're pretty much improving him and making him a lot stronger. Oh, you guys can see the answer right here if you want to. And it says, please ensure Calavon's release is handled with care. We will definitely take extra care in the release of Calavon. Please look forward to it. So that is pretty much all we have for the developers of developers live stream Q&A session. So a lot of important stuff here. And the fact that they're constantly trying to improve the game, making it a lot better, you know, they have my respect. They have my respect for that. They didn't talk about expirable suspendium. You guys already know how I feel about expirable suspendium. They haven't talked about it yet. They said that they were going to, make some changes, but they haven't said anything about it yet in the Q&A session right here. But yeah, we have a lot of upcoming characters: Yama, Yasracha, Erasure, Sachi Faker, a lot of characters that they talked about. And I'm excited, really excited. But I'm not gonna lie, man, the solo leveling collab, that kind of broke my heart. Like, that actually kind of broke my heart. It's not gonna be solo leveling, unfortunately. Damn, bro, that sucks. That would have been so good, because if it was solo leveling, that would have been a major, like, it would have been a really good buff for purple element, because purple element, we are lacking SSR plus units for a purple element. So imagine like the main character Sung Jinwoo, he would have been dark element for sure, because his character and his persona, his demeanor is dark. So he definitely would have been a dark element unit. And other characters, like, I'm pretty sure, I forgot what that other girl's name was. I think Cha Hei. Yeah, I think that was her name. She would have been light element for sure. Like, They would have, dude, soul leveling would have been a blast, man. That would have been a blast collab, but it is what it is. We have to wait and see what the collaboration is going to be. And apparently, they're going to do a live stream by the end of, I think, October. They said that we plan to hold another live broadcast before the November collaboration begins. So probably beginning of November, we're gonna get the live stream. So really excited for the collab and excited for these future upcoming changes. But that's pretty much it. We have VIOLE buff coming soon, and we also have Flight UREK MAZINO buff coming soon, and 3 more characters who are going to get buffed. So looking forward to that. We also have optimization and so many other things coming into the game. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. But hope you guys have a good one, and I'll be catching you guys soon. Peace.